Hey guys, welcome back to the show. It's Danny Elliott. So today I want to talk to you about this real estate deal in downtown Minneapolis. This hotel was built in 1914. It's a Hyatt-centric 4-star, 154-room hotel at 615 2nd Avenue South, formerly known as the Minneapolis Athletic Club and the Grand Hotel Minneapolis. So this thing's been a cash cow for over 100 years. And it recently sold in 2018 for $30 million. And now it's sold for $11.6 million. So these deals are coming to market now. And we can get them cheap. But should we buy in a place like Minneapolis, Minnesota? So I wonder this because, we saw what happened in Minneapolis about 4 years ago, right? We saw the riots. We saw everyone was burning the city down so that they could raise the property taxes and then rebuild the city again. So then maybe at some point in the future, they can burn it down once again when, the politicians in Washington tell them it's time to go burn cities down. Let's just think about this, guys. So as the country continues to get poorer, as the government continues to spend more and more of our resources, as the purchasing power continues to disappear and people continue to lose their jobs and no one has any money, right? Real estate goes into default. Homeowners lose their houses to foreclosure. We're going to see more problems going forward. What do we think is going to happen? And what I think is going to happen is I think you're going to see these historic downtown hotels like this. They're going to turn back into the YMCA. You guys remember that song from the 1970s? YMCA, right? You're going to stay at the YMCA. You're going to have a good meal. You're going to get yourself clean. So people lived at the YMCA back in the day. It was called single room occupancy. And we saw this during the crisis. We saw this at a lot of the extended stay hotels in the United States. We saw Homewood Suites, Residence Inn. We saw Town Place Suites. They were basically taken over by government. And we had a lot of people on rent relief. We had a lot of people that just came to the country. They're living in the hotels now. And they're living rent free, because the hotel is getting transfer payments directly from the government. So in a world where we talk about universal basic income, we talk about CBDCs, we talk about how basically our money is not really our money anymore. Our money is basically the government's money. The government can decide on a day-to-day basis how much the US dollar is worth. The Congress can get as drunk as they want at night and vote on new spending. We found out about that at the hearings the other day, guys, right? These guys are just getting drunk. Uncle Sam's Congress. They're just going to keep voting more and more spending and making us poorer and poorer as time goes on into the future. So where are people going to live? Like all these people in my thumbnail, right? Where are they going to live? They burned everything down, and now they're going to lose their homes to default because they increased their own property taxes so they could rebuild everything after they burned it to the ground. Where are these people going to live? They're going to live in single room occupancy. So what the hell is single room occupancy? So 100 years ago, this was a popular form of lodging, accommodations, housing. People would move to cities looking for work. Immigrants who recently arrived in the country would stay in the YMCA. They would have one room and they would have a bed. Now, this is better than single room occupancy because you'll have a bathroom with a shower and a sink, right? Because back in the day, single room occupancy just had a room and you'd have a bathroom down the hall. Some hotels are still like this in older areas of the world. You'll have like a floor of rooms and it'll have like simply a bed and it'll have like a sink in the corner. And then they'll have like a shared bathroom, sort of like a hostel, if you're familiar with hostels. But I think that these downtown hotels that are trading for 60% off, 70% off, 80% off, are going to go toward housing and away from guest rooms and lodging accommodations. Because I don't think that there's any business travel going on in the United States right now. I've seen this myself as a GM in the hospitality business. I saw that a lot of the mid-scale hotels, like the Days Inn, Comfort Inn, Best Western, Super 8, the Hampton Inn, the Fairfield Inn, hotels like that were struggling, while the Ritz-Carlton, the Four Seasons, the five-star hotels We're doing very, very well. And so where are these hotels going to go, guys? If they can't make any money, they're going to trade at, whatever the they're going to look at the last 3 years of revenue and say, okay, this property doesn't generate much revenue. We're going to bid very, very low. We're going to bid at 70%, 80% off what it last traded for 7 years ago, 8 years ago. And then you're going to take these great assets in the middle of city centers and you're going to turn them into housing. And it's already ready to go. See, like a hotel like this, it's got a restaurant on the first floor, has a commercial kitchen. You can cook meals there. You can eat a good meal. You can get yourself clean. You could stay in a room and live there forever. Because we all know that everybody's staying inside and nobody really goes out and does anything. Like I go out, I run, I go for a hike. I never see anybody around. I never see anybody outside. The only place I ever see anybody is at the grocery store, at Walmart, at the mall, like I'm not talking like a big mall, like where you walk around inside with a bunch of stores. Like those malls are dying right now. I'm talking about the mall that's got the Walmart store, that's got the ShopRite, the Piggly Wiggly, right? The Publix, like those malls. Those malls are busy. The malls with, actually like clothing stores and, where you walk around and you actually engage and interact with other human beings. Like those type of malls are kind of dead right now. And you also see a lot of action around government complexes. Like government's busy, private sector's dead. So where's this going? It's going towards single room occupancy. So I think you can get these assets cheap right now. So if you can get them, if you got a fund, if you got a group of investors that can buy these assets and you got a plan to, do some renovations and maybe turn it into cheap housing and then market yourself to the government, similar to the hotels in New York City, right? We had a lot of people who just entered the country and they ended up in New York City. They ended up staying in hotels. They were getting rent relief. They were getting everything free, right? They were getting meals, and the meal contractors were making money from government. The hoteliers were making money from government. Everybody was getting paid from the government, right? Including the people in the rooms. So I think that we're going to go to a universal basic housing structure in this country. Like we're going toward universal basic income. I mean, we already have universal basic income, guys, right? That's what the boomers got. They got the Social Security. Anybody talks about cuts to Social Security gets into an uproar. Oh my God, you can't take away my Social Security. I get paid into that all my life. I deserve that. I should get it. Whatever. I mean, it's a welfare program, guys. It's just like everything else. Just because you paid into it, the thing is bankrupt. There's no money there. The entire country is insolvent. So all we're going to do is continue to monetize this debt, and the Congress is going to continue to spend. They're going to continue to drink all night. They're going to vote at 3 a.m. More spending, more spending. Let's have it. So I think these assets are great deals. I think you should invest in hotels if you can get these at a bargain basement price. So look for these deals. Get on CoStar, get on LoopNet, check them out. And if you can get them, lock them up and buy them, because these are going to be great revenue generators. And you could just partner with the government in Washington, because that's where the money is. It ain't in the private sector, that's for sure. So I hope you like this video. And like I said, please vote on the video. Give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down, whatever you like. And, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more of this content. I'll see you in the next episode. I'm Danielle.